Yeah. This is a Gimme 5 show with Jay Walker and Tiffany. Yeah. You gon' have to give me 5 fingers on it right now. Wait until they see the strength and hear the win. It's Black College Live, I'ma need 5 on it. If they put overtime on it, lights out.
You're watching Gimme 5, Black College Live.
What up, everybody? Black College Live is back. The season premiere from the Southern Heritage Classic. We got the TSU cheer squad to our right and our left.
What's up, Tennessee State? Y'all in the house?
What's happening? Well, you know, if you shouting out Tennessee State, you gotta shout out Jackson State.
What's up, JSU? JSU in the house?
Love.
Do they believe?
That is the
Do they
question. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of what? Black College Live. Jay Walker, Tiffany Green here with you. Delighted to be back. You see that smoke? That smoke coming across.
Smoke. Oh.
Ooh, that smoke coming across. It feels good. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a number of headlines to jump into. And I'll tell you this. Jackson State coming off that prime time win with head coach Deion Sanders, the biggest of his career, Jay.
Absolutely so. I mean, we thought it was best win was last year when they beat Grambling on the road, but starting off the season, beating what I had ranked as the number 2 team in black college football down there in Miami. Deion went home, he got the job done, and he made a lot of believers out of those folks that had some questions.
And he also does a great job of getting a lot of talk around what he's doing. As he talked about an HBCU super conference as well. Now that idea has been floated around for a number of years, but do you think a few more ears are listening now?
I think they're listening. I don't know if I'm a big fan of it or not. I think with the Celebration Bowl, what it means, I think you have to kind of stick with that game plan there. But right now, hey, you talk about Deion and the success they had. Well, talking about the MEAC, how about the job that Trey Oliver did? Opening week MEAC SWAC Challenge, getting the victory there. That was huge for them. Maybe the Eagles are going in the right direction after coming off a very rocky first year.
They were able to take down Alcorn State. Davius Richard was that dude. We saw a team from Durham that had a chip on their shoulder. They were ready to prove that they don't deserve to be third in that preseason poll in the MEAC. They're going for that top spot.
They're going for it, and they rightfully should. I mean, that's a really good football team. The defense is the key. They can play defense. They showed that. They stopped a very powerful Alcorn State football team led by Felix Harper. But Trey Oliver, he's a defensive coordinator. If he can keep playing defense like that, they'll have a great season.
All right, let's switch over to the Southwestern Athletic Conference because we talked about Jackson State and FAMU and Alcorn State, number of programs. But what about UAPB?
Who?
Arkansas Pine Bluff. They say you need to put some respect on our name.
Everybody forgot about Arkansas Pine Bluff. I mean, that's a team that was in the SWAC championship in the spring. They returned their quarterback, their wide receivers. Doc Gamble has a legitimate squad that can compete for the SWAC West title. We're going to see how it goes. So I feel you, UAPB. Where's the love? No respect at all. Rodney Dangerfield, what's up with that?
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the start of Black College Live. Plenty more to go. You'll want to stay right here with us. We're in Memphis, the Liberty Bowl for the 32nd annual Southern Heritage Classic.
Everybody clap your hands. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Cha-cha, real smooth.
This is where the formula ends and the magic begins. We take the mold, shake the mold, and break the mold. From late nights in the gym to later nights in the library, we grind. Because if you think greatness is a game, think again. Here, nothing shines unless we all do.
Back here in Memphis at the Liberty Bowl. Now, just how far is Tennessee State from Memphis, about 3-hour drive. They're located in Nashville, Tennessee. About 8,000 plus students attend the historically black college or university rather in Nashville. They're part of the Ohio Valley Conference. Jay, they were established back in 1912, a great pride, great history, great tradition. Oprah Winfrey, you may have heard that name.
Stop right there.
She's
Oprah
kind of a
Winfrey.
big deal. I don't know about that.
I'm gonna give it up to the Tiger Bells too. You got
Absolutely.
Wilma
And
Rudolph,
Tiffany,
Wyoming
the
Giants,
job
all
he
those
did.
folks. Legendary track program there at Tennessee State.
But that is a theme that we continue to see with these two programs. And when you think about Tennessee State and their football legacy, you think about the 121 players that they've had come through and play in the NFL. But there are two that stand out specifically. They're Pro Football Hall of Famers in Richard Dent and Claude Humphrey.
I mean, absolutely. There's a lot of names we talk about. I mean, think about Tennessee State. I think about Joe Gilliam, the legendary coach, as well as the quarterback that was there. Big John Merritt, who was the legendary coach they've had there. Some of the players that came through the program, Randy Fuller, some guys around my era. But the two Hall of Famers do stand out. Got to give a shout out to Ed Too Tall Jones as well. But Richard Dent, Super Bowl MVP as a defensive lineman. One of the first guy to ever win it. That way, he played his ball at Tennessee State, rightfully enshrined in Canton in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So let's keep it going with that Hall of Fame list.
Okay, let's go with Lynn Barney.
Lynn Barney,
Okay, Walter Payton,
Sweetness,
Jackie Slater,
Jackie,
and Robert Brazile.
Jackson State, their 4 Hall of Famers can line up against anybody and probably win. You talk about that list, when you talk about Lynn Barney, one of the 3 original 20s with Billy Sims, Barry Sanders, and Lynn Barney, they wore number 20 there. And then you talk about, do we even have to talk about Walter Payton? If you don't know Walter Payton is Turn the Challenge, you shouldn't be watching us. We all know what Walter Payton meant to the game of football. The NFL Man of the Year Award is named after him. Jackie Slater, longest tenured lineman in the history of the Rams. He played with them from LA to St. Louis to Anaheim, everywhere they were. And then Robert Brazile, you talk about Mr. Personality. You talk about somebody I love. They love some Robert Brazile down in Jackson, Mississippi.
You know, you were shouting out some of the great coaches also that go along with Tennessee State. How about Rick Comegy and W.C. Gordon, the architect of that Jackson
and now
State
they got
football
some coach
program.
named, what's the coach's name now? Coach Prime, something like that.
Prime Time, Dion, something along those
Something like
lines.
that.
Yeah, you go.
Hoping to join that list.
But here's the deal. That is not your favorite player of all time, Jay. There's a guy that stands out to you that you love. Your favorite all-time player, Jay.
Okay. You know, when you got Jackson State, Tennessee State, this big classic they've got here, and I was schooling Eddie George, head coach of Tennessee State, about a guy by the name of Eldridge Dickey. And why do I love Eldridge Dickey? The best nickname of all time. His nickname was the Lord's Prayer. Our prayers have been answered. That's how good Eldridge Dickey was. John Merritt and Prayer, they went to the game in a convertible Cadillac while the rest of the team rode the bus.
John Merritt, coach that both Tennessee State and Jackson State. So a lot of great history. We love to pay homage to the legends that helped pave the way for guys like Jay and others to come on. Well, we'll be back with more, so stick around with us on Black College Live. But we also got to make sure that we shout out some of the notable players from Week 1 and Week 0. I think you got to go with the MEAC stars, in my opinion, right now, and Davius Richard and the job that he did again against Alcorn State in that Week 0 game, 184 passing yards. Then Manny Smith as well. He did his thing with 8 tackles.
Everybody clap your hands. Cha-cha now, yo. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Cha-cha, real smooth.
We talk about shouting out all the players. We got to show love for Alabama A&M. quarterback, Aquil Glass. Aquil Glass put up 426 yards on 28 of 49 passing and 4 touchdowns in their season opening win over South Carolina State, 42-41. Remember, they beat them at the start of the spring season, and they got a chance to do it again thanks to the arm of Aquil Glass. Back here in Memphis, but just about a 3-hour drive south, and you will find the I Love, as they like to say, down in Jackson, Mississippi, the capital city. Jackson State University, founded in 1877. Challenging minds, changing lives. They are one of the blue bloods of HBCUs, and I have the distinct pleasure to be joined by the Vice President and Director of Athletics, Mr. Ashley Robinson. And Ashley, the job that you have done since taking over, it's been transformational. How is it to carry that weight of a program with the distinct history that Jackson State has to now?
You know, our theme is building on tradition and blazing new trails. And you know, Jackson State has a rich tradition. So we're going to continue to build on that tradition. Every single day, we want to continue to build on that. You know, with our 4 Hall of Famers, over 100 players get drafted to the NFL, 16 national championships. So we're very proud, passionate alumni with 50,000 alumni. As you see, every week we travel and travel and travel. It's prime time in Jackson, Mississippi.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We're very excited.
No
very
doubt.
excited about the build on this tradition.
What I love about it is I believe your fan base mirrors your head coach, right? Proud, you know, you go out, you support, you are there. You know, talk about just what this primetime era is like in Jackson right now.
It's exciting, very passionate, very excited for Jackson State. It's not just about athletics, it's about the whole institution as a whole. And my goal is to grow Jackson State University. When you turn the radio on, I want to see Jackson State. When you turn the TV on, I want to see Jackson State. When you go out and travel and do anything, I want to see Jackson State University. And that's my goal as athletic director here at Jackson State.
The new facilities, the new things, the newness that surrounds this program, educate our viewers about what's in store and what's currently in the works.
Well, we're right now working on upgrading all our facilities on campus. The first set for our facility, we upgraded our AAC, which is the exterior, and now we're working on the interior. We just did our practice field, very proud about that. And right now we're working on locker rooms, we're working on lounge, we're working on meeting spaces. That will be done in November. So we have about 7 to 8 phases that we're working on, and that's very exciting. As you know, that's a big recruiting tool. You got to have facilities to be successful, and that's one of the tools that we're gonna keep in place to make sure that we're successful.
Well, you certainly have gotten the recruits, some of the transfers that come in, and just immediately giving a lift to this program. Sky's the limit. What's the expectation in Jackson? Yeah, you want to win championships, but in your mind, what have you planted for that team?
You know, our expectation is to graduate our student athletes and win championships. You know, anything about Jackson State and tradition, we have passionate alumni and fans. And they don't mind speaking their mind. I love my alumni and fans because they're direct. And I love direct people. I love direct fans. And as we continue to build this thing, we want to build champions. We want to build champions on and off the field. And that's our goal here at Jackson State University.
They talk about believing. And I'm going to tell you, this man right here, he certainly believes.
Definitely.
Mr. Ashley Robinson, the Vice President and Director of Athletics for Jackson State. We appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll be back with more from Memphis to the Sea. Stay with Black College Live.
Everybody clap your hands. Cha-cha now, yo. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Cha-cha, real smooth.
This is where the formula ends and the magic begins. We take the mold, shake the mold, and break the mold. From late nights in the gym to later nights in the library, we grind. Because if you think greatness is a game, think again. Here, nothing shines unless we all do.
We talked to Ashley Robinson about that passionate fan base from Jackson State University, and I see some Tiger fans right behind us here.
This guy right
Be
here.
love, baby.
Hey, this dude right here, this is the father of Aubrey Miller, devastating linebacker for Jackson State. He's going to be a key if they're going to have a chance at winning the game today. Just want to give you a shout out, man. I like that. Proud love for your pop, for your son. Huh?
I love that.
We got Miller time. They got the Miller time.
The Miller time.
Hey,
Let me tell you.
bring your signs out when you come on set here at Black College Live. We like to capture it all.
You know what's so special about the Southern Heritage Classic? Back in 1997, that's when it all started. 32 years ago, the brainchild of Fred Jones. 31-28, Jackson State was able to pull out the victory. But more importantly, you know how many people were in the stands? 61,000 plus. Holla at your girl about
Give
that.
a shout
And guess
out
what?
to slow down. Hey, you say Fred Jones?
Yeah.
Put some spec on his name.
Fred
they got a
Jones.
street name for him.
Fred Jones. Absolutely. But here's the thing. They're expecting a crowd like that inside the Liberty Bowl once again today. And you know, it means so much to both of these institutions that we got a chance to talk with Eddie George and hear his thoughts on what it means.
It's an honor to play, to coach in this game and to get ready for this game. Not because it's Deion on the other side, but because of the rich history of two schools. And this is yet another chapter in this great rivalry that we can be a part of. And it's always special.
This Southern Heritage, I've heard some wonderful things. It's close proximity. Our fans could travel there much more comfortably than taking a flight all the way to Miami. And I look forward to it. I heard the pageantry is like that, the bands, everything, man. I can't wait. I love HBCU football at this point in my life, and it's been nothing but it has exceeded all expectations.
Well, both coaches talked about just the importance and what this classic means, and they're getting a chance to coach in it for the first time. Two young head coaches in the sense of the profession, and Eddie George and Deion Sanders. But Jay, we speed this thing up. Y'all hear that coming in the background? That's coming up next in that Greek of the Week. That's a little hint, a little teaser. Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Jay's Gimme 5.
All right, y'all, we're here at the Southern Heritage Classic. So we're talking about classic games, and we know how important they are in black football culture. So I'm going to rank them for you. And there's some room for error. I made a mistake. We'll see if you catch it. Number 5, the State Fair Classic. Grambling, Prairie View, played in the Cotton Bowl every year. That game means a whole lot in terms of conference standing. That's why it's 5. 4, let's go on. Give it up to your Rattlers, Chip. Florida A&M versus Bethune-Cookman. Oh, you're not really excited about that game. I wonder why. Don't worry about it. Number 3, the Bayou. Normally the granddaddy of them all, the number 1 HBCU game for years. Grambling versus Southern State Holiday in Louisiana. But it's gone down to number 3. Why? Because this year, this game passed them up. Number 2, the Southern Heritage Classic. You got Deion. You got Eddie. You got everybody that you need there and all the fans in the tailgate. This is starting to become a go-to event for the next decade or so. And number 1, I call it the granddaddy of them all. Let's go on back down to the ham. Birmingham, Alabama, Magic City Classic. A&M State, they just simply call it the Classic. On the bubble, I'm going to the Aggie Eagle Classic, and I'm going to say the Celebration Bowl. What I missed? Let's see if you caught it.
I can't say that I caught anything. I like it. Now, I feel like you should have put the Florida Classic up a little bit higher, although I cannot debate your Magic City Classic.
And a new one coming on board, Orange Blossom Classic.
Oh,
the
yes.
Orange Blossom Classic.
Absolutely
FAMU, Jackson
right.
State, great job last year. Look forward to it for years to come.
All right, so they were reinstituted after 43 years. We will get a chance to hopefully go back down there next year. Jay, it's time for the power rankings. We gotta shake down and start talking a little bit more football now. And give me your ideas of top 5 teams.
This was probably the hardest list of power rankings I had to put it together because we're coming off of some upsets, some newcomers, and some teams that deserve to be ranked, but there's only 5. So these are Jay's top 5 power rankings. 5, I'm going with North Carolina Central. Nobody expected to see them there with the job Trey Oliver did and winning the MEAC Track Challenge. Now you've got expectations. Let's see how they react. Number 4, I'm going to put spec on their name, Arkansas Pine Bluff. UAPB. I see it. You guys almost won a championship in the spring. Let's see what you do in the fall with higher expectations. Number 3, I'm going South Carolina State. Buddy Field, the Bulldogs. Number 2 is a shocker. I'm going to move them up. You beat the number 2 team in the country, you get their spot. Jackson State, I believe, the number 2 team in HBCU football after knocking off FAMU. Number 1, Alabama A&M, a Quill Glass, all that firepower. To be the man, you got to beat the man. On the bubble, Alcorn and FAMU, we'll hear from them teams, I'm sure.
And I'm sure you will hear from plenty of people on social media and across the country. You want to debate it? That's Jay's Gimme 5, Jay's Power Rankings at BLK College Live. We want to hear from you, and we'll come back with more to wrap things up. We'll give you a game preview. Coach Chef is in the building, and so are the Qs.
Everybody clap your hands. Cha-cha now, y'all. Turn it out. Oh, yeah. Cha-cha, real smooth.
Oh yeah, time for the Greek of the Week. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, founded 1911. Manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. Just to give you a little intro into the mighty YE from Jackson State. Check out the Qs. That don't ever get old. I'm just letting y'all know that don't ever get
That's
old.
traditional. That's traditional. Founded on the campus. I know you said it, but always got to get an opportunity to mention my alma mater. So Omega Psi Phi was founded where? On the campus of
Howard University.
Howard University. Say it with some bass.
One time for the mighty YE of Jackson State. You know, there are a number of notable individuals who are members of that organization.
Okay.
Your buddy, Steve Nair, the late great Steve McNair was
Respect.
a Q-dog.
Aaron McNair.
You know, we keep up with that theme of NFL players, and we will see two former greats who played on the football field, and Deion Sanders and Eddie George going head-to-head, thinking about their career. 14 years for Deion Sanders, Pro Football Hall of Famer, leading Jackson State in his second season. For Eddie George, spent his entire career with the Tennessee Titans, a Heisman Trophy winner back at Ohio State, and now they are leading these programs, Jay.
Well, we don't want to rotate. I think we want to settle in on one guy. We're still looking at that, assessing that between Davion Bryant and Jeremy Hickbottom. Want to give them both an opportunity to see who steps up and takes the position. We'll determine our starter right around game time.
They're going to play tough, man. They're going to take on the personality of Coach George. He was tough. He was strong. He was big. He was fast. He was something to deal with on every play and well-conditioned. So I see some of these similarities on film. We have not, in its totality, studied everything about them because it's only been one game. But they fought hard. They fought hard, and they're going to be a tough team.
Now, we heard from the coaches that they got a chance to assess their team.
Yes.
But Jay, I need your assessment because you have an opinion always.
Yes, we're going to have a football game. Y'all ready for some football? Yeah! There will be a football game, so we're calling the game, so we're not going to tell you who's going to win the game, but here's what I'm going to tell you why they can win. NC State, how do you beat Jackson State? Number 2 ranked team in black college football. Run the football. You have a head coach that was a legendary running back. You got a great runner in Davon Starley. Feed him off Hickbottom, the transfer quarterback that came from Grambling. He's not afraid of Jackson State. If he can play well, this could be a signature moment for him. And for Jackson State, you have to keep believing. They got him going in the right direction, but don't underestimate what they do. Shedeur Sanders, protect the football. 2 turnovers last week almost cost him that victory. But if Shedeur Sanders plays up to his potential with that wide receiver core, it could be a long day for Tennessee State. But it's not my job to predict. I'm hungry.
Chef Coach.
Here come our chef coach, Jay Martin, former coach at 20 years of coaching experience. What you got for us this week? What you got?
Always appreciating.
Okay. Got some red, yellow sauce, but hey, we like your food, but that's not what we got you here for. So, Coach Jay, who's going to win the game? Is it going to be JSU or is it going to be Tennessee State?
I tell you what, Jay and Tiffany, a Tiger will win. But JSU
At first, you had me on the hook. I was like, wait a minute now, that's just a cop out. But you went with JSU.
I did based on the defense.
All right.
I'm going. You take us out.
All
I'm
right,
about to
look,
grill.
we're about to get into this here. We appreciate you joining us from Memphis. Guess what? Next week, we will be in Washington, D.C. for Hampton and Howard.
You know.
We look forward to seeing you there. Thanks for being back with us in this 2021 season. Jay Walker, Tiffany Green, we out.
This is a Gimme 5 show with Jay Walker and Tiffany. Yeah. You gon' have to give me 5 fingers on it right now. Wait until they see the strength and hear the win. It's Black College Live, I'ma need 5 on it. If they put overtime on it, lights out.